Hey everybody, Ben here from DMC Films and Cinderblock Studios, and this is everything you need to know about colored pencils in less than 5 minutes. So most of us probably know that colored pencils aren't graphite, but what are they exactly? Like most art media, you're looking at a pigment and a binder. In the case of colored pencils, the binder is wax. And depending on which wax and if other binders are used, that will determine the hardness of the colored pencil. Colored pencils are also a great light-fast drawing media that is extraordinarily easily accessible to pretty much everybody. So in terms of colored pencils, you're looking at 3 main types: hard leads, soft leads, and watercolor pencils. I mean, heck, what are those? When people look at really high-quality colored pencils, they're probably looking at ones with very soft leads. 2 of the most common brands that do this are Derwent and Prismacolor Premier. You'll probably never achieve a super sharp point on any of them, but they're really great for layering and blending. Hard-leaded colored pencils can be something as simple as Crayola, as well as something a little more complex and artsy like Prismacolor Verithin. Hard lead colored pencils are really great for adding detail because they sharpen to a really nice fine point. However, they can be tough to blend and achieve thicker applications with because they're harder and you can't really get them on there that well. Then there's watercolor pencils. Watercolor pencils are still a wax and pigment base, but they are a water-soluble variation. Watercolor pencils are actually a great way to sort of blend the ideas of drawing and painting together. Plus, if you're looking for an easier way to blend, they're really great for skin tones and subtle variations. Now with any media, you're going to see misconceptions about how exactly that media should be applied and changed and used, and colored pencils are really no different. In most cases, colored pencils are used by creating a lot of simple, light layers that build up over time. This is a pretty extreme contrast to how many people use them by grabbing one out of the box and just scribbling really hard on the page. To help bridge the gap between simply pressing lightly and really heavy scribbling, a lot of artists will lean towards the mixed media route and choose to do a base layer before they start their colored pencils. In this case, a base layer can be something like pastels, watercolors, or markers. However, even with all of these extra techniques employed, some people still might have trouble blending, and so that's why I usually grab a colorless blender pencil. Another thing that kind of drives people away from colored pencil is the idea that you can't actually erase. And while that's technically true, there's also things you can do to sort of start lifting off the heavy areas if you absolutely need to. This is where having a white eraser, also sometimes called a plastic or vinyl eraser, really comes in handy. While a white eraser may not pick every ounce of wax and pigment off of your page, it'll get really close at doing so. If you make a little mistake and use a white eraser, I doubt anyone's going to notice. In general, colored pencils are a moderately priced and easily accessible medium. They're a great colored drawing media from beginners all the way to professionals. And as always, for more tips, tutorials, and other art videos, subscribe to the channel. This has Ben from DMC Films and Cinderblock Studios. See you guys next time.